What's going on, everyone? Welcome back. I hope everybody's having a great day. All right, guys, as promised in my last video, I said I would do a video about Venus, and here we are. All right, guys, we're going to go back to Venera 10, which is from, well, back then the Soviet Union. And we got right here, it says right here, Venera 10, Russian, was a Soviet unmanned space mission to Venus. It consisted of an orbiter and a lander. It was launched on June 14th, 1975, 3 o'clock UTC, and had a mass of 5,033 kilograms or 11,096 pounds. Okay, so if we were to go down to the bottom here, right, you can see right here, the orbiter consisted of a cylinder with 2 solar panels, wings, and a high-gain parabolic antenna attached to the curved surface. A bell-shaped unit holding propulsion system was attached to the bottom of the cylinder, and mounted on top was a 2.4 meter sphere which held the landers. On October 23, 1975, this spacecraft was separated from the orbiter, and landing was made with the sun near zenith at 5:17 UT on October 25th. A system of circulating fluid was used to distribute the heat load. The system, plus pre-cooling prior to entry, permitted operation of the spacecraft for 65 minutes. Get that, after landing. In other words, that's it. During descent, heat dissipation and deceleration was accomplished sequentially by protective hemispheric shells, 3 parachutes, a disc-shaped drag brake, and a compressible metal donut-shaped landing cushion. Now, I want you guys to see this. This is pretty funky because I was reading this. I'm going, okay, how is this possible? Because it's showing what they did to try to cool the spacecraft down because the atmosphere on Venus is incredibly hot, right? So, but yet they used 3 parachutes, a drag brake, so on and so forth. Okay, now check this out. Air on Venus. The atmosphere on Venus is very hot and thick. You would not survive a visit to the surface of the planet. You couldn't breathe the air. You would be crushed by the enormous weight of the atmosphere, and you would burn up into surface temperatures high enough to melt lead. Okay, so this lander basically sent information up to this orbiter here on the right through antennas and stuff like that. Wait a minute. We got a heavy atmosphere, and I forgot how many times more it is than Earth itself. And then we got extremely hot air. Well, let me tell you something. I don't know how anything can survive on that kind of temperatures if that's really the case, right? So, yeah. And it shows right here the lander communicated with Earth using the Venera 10 orbiter as a communication relay, right? But it actually had a host of rather interesting instruments, as you can see right here, so on and so forth. So you guys will get the page. You can read all about this. Pretty cool stuff. And, of course, last contact, March 26, 1976. So I find it a little difficult for this thing to even do what it says if it landed there with parachutes. The atmosphere is extremely thick, hot, the whole 9 yards. Basically, you would burn up on the surface, but yet this lander was able to do that. Now, don't get me wrong. It only did it for 65 minutes before it shut itself down. Okay, so let's jump over to this. This is what we're going to be taking a look at. Now, this was on a page where the guy actually tried to color it and make it a little bit more friendly to the eyes, I guess. But I'm going to show you some rather interesting things in this particular photo right here, and you can see this one here as well. And I've taken them both in Photoshop and try to bring out some objects in here that are pretty crazy, right? So let's jump into that. Now, I found this pretty interesting here, and this is not the best picture, guys, so understand, you're not going to see it very clear. Again, we're going back to 1975. Even the atmosphere is thick on the ground, right? Or at least the air density. So, but anyway, this object right here, I found this a little weird because look at the way this thing is shaped. Does this, goes over. Another one. Almost like some kind of weird louvers. But check this out. It actually has a completely nice round circle. Goes like this, and goes like this. And then this part goes over here. How does that do that naturally? Somebody want to explain that? I'm not sure what this is right here, but what I find a little interesting is the way this thing is designed or shaped. It goes down like this, and then it has what looks like this rectangular opening right here. Now, can you guys even see that? That's pretty wild. When I look at that, I just go, what the hell is that? That I find a little interesting. And you can see again, here we go, guys, with the blur and the garbage and stuff like that. Look at the way this thing looks like some kind of weird-looking pipe right here. Going up like this. Of course, we can. It only shows this part of it right here. And what looks like it has this kind of weird opening right here. Right? Now, here's another thing I want you to take note of. Way back in here in this white area. And you can see where they made this darker area here like this. But there's something right here And you can see that. Go ahead and zoom in for you guys. Right here, there's a line and a line. But what's funny about it is you see the actual object does this. There's something that looks like it goes like down like this, goes like this, has a piece that does this. There's another round piece right here. Now, the thing about it is it has a piece of white right here, goes across. It's bizarre, guys, to say the least. Now I'm going to show you that right now. This piece here, check that out. What the hell could that possibly be sitting on a planet that's extremely hot and the atmosphere is like insane, right? Here's another thing. These objects right in here. These two pieces right here. And then, of course, you've got this object right here. It looks like an oval-shaped piece there. And what looks like these objects right here coming down, what looks like a square piece, another square piece with a small hole in the middle. All right. And again, we've got this object right here. I'm not sure what to make of that. Is it some kind of weird little craft sitting on the surface? Here's another thing, just sitting right there. See that? Right there. Okay. All right. I want to see if you guys can even find this. This object stood right out for me immediately. I was just like, what the hell is that? Can anybody tell me what this is? Okay. First thing when I saw this, I was like, oh my God, what could that possibly be? I don't know if you guys can see this, but it kind of does this. You'll see it actually goes like this. Goes up, goes across. This goes down. I can see this. I don't even have to enhance this. Goes down like this. But what I see is this thing doing this. It's actually a little bit closer than that. And it has what looks like almost like an oval piece, but it has two halves. And you'll see that in a minute. But that's not what really stuck out for me. What really stuck out for me is you got this item, like I said, but then you have another one, and then another one. And then you'll see these, what look like small circles. And then again, this top one here. And this is actually squared off. And you're going to see that. So in other words, it looks like it progressively goes down lower and lower, but it has this piece that does this. See that? Like it's almost like it's rounded, like it does this here. Right here. See, it goes down. And again, you'll see this a little better right now. This actually has a square to it, or at least that way like that. And you'll see what I'm talking about. This is just crazy. Again, it looks like it progressively goes down like steps. And then it has another piece here. All right, so let's check this out. Now, what I did was I did a equalization on this photo to see if I can bring anything out. Now, it's going to get a lot brighter, but have a look at this object when we do this. Okay? I'm going to bring this a little bit better off for you guys. But again, perfectly square, going like this, has this object. But it looks like there's a two-piece object here. Okay? A lower level. And then one way on the bottom. Okay? They all have a black dot. See that? So I don't know if it's similar to this one here on the top. This goes like this. Again, this goes like this. We got this, what looks like almost like a triangular shape with two pieces here. This comes down over here. Of course, this is kind of in the way, but that doesn't matter. Check that out. See it? Okay, let's keep going. Boom. Now, check this thing out, guys. Tell me this doesn't look bizarre as hell, and that shouldn't be there. I want a little darker on this piece right here. It should only be like that, a circle, because you could just see the other one down here. See that? Right here, but you can't see the very top of this. This is the reason why it has that weird look to it. But I'm just going to go back and forth, and you guys tell me these lines are actually there. And it looks like it actually goes into this. I don't know if you guys can see this. It looks like it's going into here. So my thing is, I think this is all manipulation. I think they try to take a lot of this out and failed to take out the rest of this item right here. Now, go back and forth. See it? See it? tone it down a bit, and go through the photo. Because obviously this is now more of a normal photo as opposed to being completely highlighted like this here or extremely bright. So bring it back to normal, and this is what we get. And those lines are in fact there. Once you burn the stuff in there, that's what you find. Now, to me, that just screams intelligently made. Nothing that I know of that's in nature is going to do that. My guess is if it was anything, this item here is either a structure of some sort or some kind of craft. It's right there, man. Bam, right in your face. Now, these other objects, I brought these out. I don't know what the hell this thing is here, but it looks like some kind of weird little funky looking craft. Is it a structure of some sort? What do you guys think? Go over to this side. Here's that other object right there. And then, of course, we got these other objects right here. Now, I sharpened it. This is the reason why it's got that weird fuzzy look to it. See it? Okay. But again, we've got these two objects right here. 1, 2. They're like identical. We've got this right here. And notice how we got this line right here, right? Goes straight across. Because they're trying to take out what this thing really is. In other words, I'm thinking that this is all one piece. Because look at this right here. I don't know if you guys can see this. These are either funky patterns in the photo or there's something else here, guys. See it? And again, it's on this side over here with these pieces hanging down right here, here, and all of these funky looking shapes in here. Is it possible these are other structures? And again, you know they must have done their homework when they went to this planet because they must have said, oh my God, there's just no way we could send this probe here. It's going to take so much work to get it there and have it survive on this planet. But yet they did everything they could to get it here. For what reason? Now, I understand they want to probably sample the atmosphere, once they landed on it and, just to get a better idea what this planet's like, right? Because they can get some ideas through other cameras and different spectrums and stuff like that. By looking at the planet, they can tell. But, to actually have feet on the ground, so to speak, is a whole lot different. But were they there just for that? Funny how these objects just happen to be in this area, while this thing landed right smack dab where it's at. Now, this thing might have landed in a spot they didn't even want it to land in, and it still took photos of this stuff. Check it out, right? Here's another thing, a little odd. On the very bottom here, check this out. It goes like this. Of course, I'm not doing this too straight, but you get the idea. And then part of this actually goes out a little bit more, but almost has a straight line going straight down. And then it has these, what looks like this white object sitting right here. See that? That's kind of a little bizarre, too, as far as I'm concerned. There's something right there that's reflective, and I'm not sure what to make of that. Guys, let me know what you think, man. Comment down below. Give me your thoughts. I think as we go on, the more planets we look at and we see how they're manipulating the photos, clearly there's something in there. And again, these objects are on this planet with the atmosphere the way it is, the pressure, the hot temperatures, the whole 9 yards. I mean, it's like being in hell, I guess, basically, right? And yet this thing was able to last 65 minutes? Oh my God, what the hell? I can't see how an antenna can last, even if it was steel. And it says it can basically melt steel, the temperatures alone. I mean, what? And yet this thing survived enough to send photos back to the orbiter, and then the orbiter sent it back to Earth. Is the atmosphere really as bad as they say it is? We don't know. We're not there, and the average person can't go there, so we have to take their word for it. Now, if it is, they built that thing pretty robust in order to be able to survive 65 minutes on that surface, right? But anyway, guys, give me your take on it. And don't forget to like and definitely share the video. Always appreciate it. You guys know that. That's how we get the information out. See, and YouTube's going to kind of stunt our growth, so to speak. You guys are the only ones that can actually do this. So sharing it, definitely appreciated. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Always appreciated. And I will see you on the flip side.